Curtis Jackson, also known as 50 Cent, lived from birth, born into the concrete 1975. Curtis James Jackson III is born on July 6, 1975, in South Jamaica, Queens, an environment defined by cracked sidewalks, high crime, and limited opportunity. The neighborhood doesn't offer protection, it offers tests. From the moment he enters the world, survival is not a choice, but a requirement. The streets are loud, unforgiving, and always watching. A mother's hustle. Curtis is raised by his mother, Sabrina Jackson, a young woman navigating the drug trade while trying to shield her son from its dangers. She is both provider and protector, but the life she lives carries invisible threats. Curtis absorbs lessons without knowing it: how money moves, how trust is rare, and how danger never announces itself. Tragedy at 8 years old. At just 8 years old, Curtis's world shatters. His mother is killed in a mysterious house fire, widely believed to be murder. Overnight, childhood ends. Grief hardens into silence. He moves in with his grandparents, but emotional stability never arrives. Loss becomes a permanent companion and a motivator. Raised by the streets, without guidance or emotional support, Curtis looks outward. The streets of Queens become his teachers. He learns how to observe, how to stand his ground, and how to move without fear. By his early teens, he's selling drugs, not for thrills, but survival. The streets reward toughness, and Curtis adapts quickly. The meaning of 50 Cent, Curtis adopts the name 50 Cent, inspired by a notorious Brooklyn hustler known for taking whatever he wanted. The name becomes a philosophy: take opportunity, take control, and never beg. It represents power, resilience, and the refusal to be a victim. The name sticks, and soon it carries weight: discipline, boxing, and escape. Amid chaos, Curtis finds structure through boxing. The gym teaches him discipline, endurance, and how to channel aggression. At the same time, music enters his life. Rap becomes a mirror, a place to tell truths without apology. Lyrics replace conversations he never learned how to have. First taste of the industry. Curtis catches the attention of Jam Master Jay and later signs to Columbia Records. The streets are behind him, or so he thinks. Studio sessions, label meetings, and expectations replace corners and hustles. But the industry proves ruthless, full of politics and hidden agendas. Trust is tested again, blacklisted and broken promises. As quickly as opportunity appears, it disappears. Columbia drops Curtis before his debut album releases. Doors close. Phones stop ringing. He's labeled a problem, a risk, an artist too real for corporate comfort. For Curtis, rejection is familiar, but this time, it fuels a different kind of fire. 9 shots to immortality. In May 2000, Curtis is shot 9 times at close range. Bullets tear through his body: jaw, leg, chest, hand. Doctors say survival is unlikely. He lives. Recovery is slow, painful, and transformative. His voice changes. His outlook hardens. Survival becomes destiny, rebirth through mixtapes. Now independent and blacklisted, Curtis reinvents himself. He floods the streets with mixtapes, raw, fearless, relentless. His music is everywhere, undeniable. The industry can ignore him, but the streets can't. The legend of 50 Cent grows without permission. Eminem, Dre, and global takeover. Eminem hears the mixtapes. Dr. Dre listens. One meeting changes everything. Signed to Shady/Aftermath, 50 Cent releases Get Rich or Die Tryin. The album explodes worldwide. His story, voice, and presence redefine hip-hop. The kid from Queens becomes a global force, from survivor to mogul. Music opens doors, but Curtis walks through all of them. Film, television, business, branding. He studies power the way he once studied the streets. From power to billion-dollar ventures, Curtis Jackson evolves beyond rapper. His legacy isn't just success, it's transformation. Curtis Jackson didn't escape his environment. He mastered it. Every scar, every loss, every lesson is audible in his voice. His story isn't about luck, it's about adaptation, strategy, and refusing to die. physically or spiritually. Please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Thank you. Power, control, and reinvention. Success doesn't soften Curtis Jackson, it sharpens him. Money isn't the victory, it's the tool. Fame isn't the goal, it's leverage. Once survival is no longer his daily concern, a new obsession takes hold. Ownership, not just of masters or royalty checks, but of infrastructure, contracts, distribution, narrative control. He studies the business the way he once studied the streets, quietly, obsessively, with no margin for error. Curtis learns early that talent is the bait, not the prize. Talent opens doors. Ownership decides who keeps the building. He watches artists burn bright and disappear, rich for a moment and powerless forever. That won't be his story. Reinvention becomes strategy, not reaction. He isn't trying to escape where he came from. He's trying to outgrow the limits placed on him, building an empire. Music is the foundation, but Curtis never intended to live in one room. Film roles come first, small parts, calculated moves. Television comes next, and this time he doesn't just audition, he produces. Power isn't simply a breakout series, it's a declaration. Curtis Jackson is no longer waiting to be cast. He's deciding what gets made. Behind the scenes, he's shaping characters, pacing stories, and negotiating control. The instincts that once kept him alive in Queens now guide him through boardrooms and production meetings. Trust is earned slowly, loyalty matters, weakness is expensive. The empire grows not because he's loud, but because he's relentless. While others chase visibility, Curtis builds permanence. Business over emotion. Curtis treats business like chess played at street speed. Every move is intentional. Every partnership is temporary unless proven otherwise. From vitamin water to liquor brands, he turns branding into psychological warfare, positioning products as symbols of status, resilience, and ambition. He doesn't sell items, he sells alignment with a mindset. Wins aren't celebrated publicly. Losses aren't denied. They're analyzed, studied, logged. Emotion never drives decisions, only information does. Where others chase validation, Curtis chases leverage. He knows when to enter, when to scale, and, most importantly, when to exit. Survival taught him discipline. Wealth demands it. Feuds, fallout, and focus. The feuds are loud, but the strategy is quiet. Public conflict keeps Curtis unavoidable, a constant presence in a crowded cultural landscape. Critics call it chaos. He calls it positioning. Attention is currency, and Curtis understands the exchange rate better than most. Behind the noise, the focus never slips. Beef is rarely personal. It's theatrical. It reinforces the image. Fearless, unfiltered, untouchable. While others get consumed by the drama, Curtis uses it as camouflage, moving deals and building structures while eyes stay fixed on the spectacle. Distraction for them, opportunity for him. Reflection without regret. With time comes reflection, but not remorse. Curtis speaks about trauma, violence, and survival with clarity, not nostalgia. He doesn't glorify the streets, but he refuses to erase them. They forged his instincts, his discipline, his edge. To deny that would be dishonest. He understands the cost now. The friends lost, the paranoia earned, the scars that never fully fade. But regret implies a desire to undo the past. Curtis doesn't look backward that way. Every version of himself was necessary. Survival wasn't an accident. It was training, legacy in real time. Curtis Jackson isn't chasing success anymore. He's defining legacy while still breathing. Artist, actor, producer, mogul, survivor. Each title earned, none borrowed. He proves reinvention isn't a moment, it's a discipline. Comfort is the enemy. Evolution is mandatory. He builds while others reflect. He creates while others coast. The work continues because disappearing was never an option. You either grow or you become a cautionary tale. 50 Cent's story isn't about being shot 9 times. It's about what he did after. When the world expected him to fade, he built. When doors closed, he constructed his own rooms. When survival was no longer the mission, power became the objective. Curtis Jackson didn't just make it out. He came back with ownership. And the streets that once raised him, They're still listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Thank you.